Hi, everyone. So good to see all of you here today. A very warm welcome to each one of you. Given that we just started the webinar and it's sharp 1 o'clock, we'll allow all the other members to join in and settle down. In the meanwhile, I would encourage all of you to use the chat box to introduce yourself, tell us a little and each other about your business, what you deal in, and of course, how one can reach out to you. So it's honestly a pleasure to be interacting with all of you today. So happy to see all of you on this call. The way we're going to do this session is we'll keep it as interactive as possible. I will be asking some amount of questions. Please reply in the chat box, either yes, no, maybe, or whatever your answer is. So we'll start this session sharp at 1:05, allowing about 4 minutes more for everybody else to join in and settle down. But for all the newcomers, a very warm welcome to all of you. I'd request you to use the chat box and let each other as well as us know a little about your business, what you deal in, and how one can reach out to you. We've seen in the past that in sessions like this, a lot of times business opportunities come through. There have been times that a supplier has met a buyer and so on and so forth. So please do make the most of this opportunity. Okay, let me bell the cat. Let me see if everything is working fine. Yes, the chat seems to be working. I'm waiting for you all to introduce yourself. Wonderful. So I can see business consultancy. One thing to note, there are a couple of members who are sending to me in the hosts and panelists section when they're using the chat box. I kindly request you to please use the everyone tab so that everybody can see what you're sending. Great. Wonderful to meet all of you today. Okay, so we have about 2 minutes more. I'm just going to tell you the reason to host this session today. It's basically to tell you all how you can actually become a part of this growing community, which is called the Commercial Bank LEAP GlobalLinker platform. Possibly some of you have already registered on the platform, but if you've not, don't worry about that. I will do a walkthrough of how you can easily register yourself. I will also do a live demo of how the platform looks like so that when you go back, you feel familiar with whatever you've seen on the screen today. One thing I'd like to mention is that please feel free to send in any questions that you may have using the Q&A tab below and not the chat box. Oftentimes, because of the volume of messages that come in the chat section, they do tend to get missed out. So I'd personally like to answer any query that you may have. So please use the the Q&A section to ask any query that you may have, and the chat box to interact with one another and answer my questions. Okay, so we have a minute more. I'll start sharing my screen. Just give me a moment there. Wonderful. I think you can all see my screen now. Just for your knowledge, like I told you, the session will be interactive. I will be asking a lot of questions. Please use the chat box and stay as engaged as possible. That is the only way that you will actually be able to make the most of the session and absorb it. It's 1:05. Let's get started. Okay, so a very warm welcome to all of you here. Just give me a moment. There seems to be some technical issue. Just a moment. Not sure why I can see the screen twice. Just give me a moment.
We can only see you, Malvika, right now.
Yeah, I stopped sharing screen because I was able to see the presentation twice. I'm going to start resharing now. Okay, I think it's working fine now. So a very warm welcome to all of you. Again, like I told you, the reason to do this session is so that you feel familiar with the platform, but more importantly, also about how do you grow your business digitally? Why should you actually consider digitization? There has been a research in the recent times that was conducted, which said that 40% of businesses will die out in the next 10 years if they don't adopt digital technologies. We are trying in this session to make you aware about these. So please, first of all, thank you for being a part of this session and taking out time on a busy working day. Now, what we're going to cover in today's session is that I'll show you a broad overview of Commercial Bank LEAP GlobalLinker, and I'll also do a live demo of it. Then we'll quickly move on to how do you kind of create your profile? Why should you have a rich profile? How do you add content to it? And then we'll move on to how, when, where, and why to sell online. Once we understand how to do that, how do we attract prospect customers? And then we'll do a detailed Q&A session. Intentionally, I will leave ample amount of time for the Q&A so that we have a live interaction and all of your queries are solved, right? Now, how many of you know about GlobalLinker or Commercial Bank LEAP GlobalLinker? Please use the chat box and tell me what is it that you know about GlobalLinker? Let's see your answers there. In general, anything, have you heard about it? If yes, have you explored the platform? What have you understood about the platform? And I'll of course tell you a little about it. So I can see nothing so far. That's absolutely okay. That's the reason you've joined the session. I've created my account. Wonderful. Step one accomplished. Let me actually tell you a little about what Commercial Bank LEAP GlobalLinker stands for. Now, you possibly use Facebook to connect with friends, and you possibly use LinkedIn to connect for work updates. And I can see a response there. It's a platform to connect B2B. Absolutely bang on. GlobalLinker is a world of business opportunities. So Facebook is for friends, LinkedIn is for work updates, but GlobalLinker is your online community or your business circle. So it indeed is a reality today where there are 4 lakh plus members across the world on the platform already connected with each other. I'm here trying to bring you as a part of this engagement and activity that's already being generated. Now, what is it that happens on the platform is broadly, people are talking about how do I source raw material, where do I get new suppliers, how do I appoint agents or distributors for my organization. People are sharing their awards, new product launches. They're actually applying for awards as well. They're talking about any new achievement. So anything in the business journey is what's happening on the platform. I must tell you that the community is free to join, but it is an invite-only program. And I'm happy to see that Commercial Bank has invited all of you to be a part of this value-added program for your business. Now, let me actually show you how the registration looks like. So that, and given that it's self-explanatory, we'll quickly go over it. But for the ones who've not yet registered, please look at this. So the first screen that will come about once you go on to Commercial Bank LEAP, and I'll show you the URL as well. It's called commercialbankleap.globalinker.com. My colleague will actually put it in the chat box. If you've not yet registered, please do so. The first screen that you'll see is where you can actually add in your first name, last name, email ID, as well as create a password. These are the only basic requirements on the first screen. So yes, I can see that you now have the link to the platform as well. Let me move on. Once you've created your username and password, you will then be prompted to add in your mobile number, which will actually do a verification of your mobile number. This is quite a critical step because we need to identify whether the business is genuine or not. So please do add a mobile number where you are able to actually view the code or the verification OTP. Once you've done that, you have to just enter the 6-digit code that comes onto your mobile number. Once that's done, you need to kind of enter what is the name of your organization or your company. Type it in there. If it already exists, you can just select that. If it doesn't exist, you can add the company so that it's created, which basically means to say that all employees of the organization can become a part of the platform, one organization with multiple stakeholders. Once that's done, you actually need to select what is your company type. Based on whatever type you are, please do select that from the drop down. Then you enter your exact company location with, of course, your PIN code, your postal code, and the city and the district. I'm going over these slightly fast so that given that these are pretty self-explanatory and you will be able to do it, but in case you don't, please do drop a message even after the session and we'll be happy to help you. Once you've actually created it, you will have to select which is the industry that your organization is a part of. So just select the main industry and then you'll have a list or a drop down of your sub industry. So please select that relevantly because the algorithm or the AI that is in place recommends matchmaking based on this industry that's selected. Once that's done, we'd like to know the platform will be able to give you customized information once there is a little more information about your business. So please identify yourself whether you are an importer or an exporter, or you are, let's say, a woman entrepreneur, or you belong in the other category. Once you've done this, you will also be having to tell what is the nature of your business, whether you are a manufacturer, a contractor, a service center, a retailer, trader, brand owner, investor. So based on whatever your nature of business is, please do select. It need not be limited to one. You can select multiple if that's what your business entails. Now, this is broadly the way you will be able to register and become a part of the platform. I'm going to actually now stop sharing this and we'll go on to the live solution so that you can see that. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen now again. This is the platform. It's called Commercial Bank LEAP.globallinker.com. I've already logged into the profile just to save time so that I've created the account and kept. Now, on my left of the screen, you can see there are 3 sections where the screen is broadly divided. On the left of the screen, you can see my name, which organization I'm representing, what is it that I'm doing at the organization, as well as the kind of engagement and activity I'm doing on the platform. In the middle section, you can see this is where organizations like yourself, MSMEs, are sharing their ideas, their opinions, their suggestions, challenges, thoughts, anything that comes to their mind for the business community. So if you see on my screen, this organization is actually talking about Carl Exports Lanka. So they're talking about their products, what they deal in, how they're going about their business. There's somebody else who's talking about putting up, let's say, a brochure of their particular product. So, and then you can see somebody's looking for a buyer. They're saying that they have best quality product in Malaysia with warranty services. So this is the kind of engagement that's already happening on the platform. It's important you also not just consume it, but also start using this section to tell others what your business is, what you deal in, what are the kind of ideas that you have, any challenge that you're facing in your business journey, anything at all, you can start posting here. You'll notice the interface is similar to that of any other social platform that you're already using. Then comes in the right section, which is basically where you can see the event that you've joined today. Here is where you will see any other events that are taking place. You can register and join. Apart from that, you'll see any articles that are being posted, any awards, achievements. Now, one important section that I'll come to is on the top, which you see is banking solutions. You can click on that to see customized banking solutions for yourself. If you're a woman entrepreneur, you will see relevantly. If you're an exporter and importer, you'll see those kind of products. So here is where you can actually explore any product of the bank that you'd like to explore further, and you'll possibly also get a call back. Now, I'm not going to go in detail because your product and your requirement will be pretty customized. So this is where you can see your banking solutions from Commercial Bank. Now, quickly moving on to the resources tab in the top navigation bar. It's called, in the first one is called knowledge. And what does this actually stand for? This is where organizations are SMEs, not just SMEs, industry leaders, not just industry leaders, market experts. There is a varied set of customers who are actually using this section to share information and share rich content with all of us. So if you see here, Mr. Pramod Veturi, he is honestly a veteran in the learning and development space. He shares a lot of content in this domain, whereas we try to give a snapshot of various industries, trends, what are the kind of insights that are there. You'll see that a lot of other organizations also are posting here. But what I'm trying to bring here is that it's not just that you consume this content. It's important that you contribute as well. And I can't emphasize enough on this, only because gone are the times when we used to promote our business just as I deal in XYZ, right? There's enough and more competition in every domain. And it's therefore important that as a business owner, you stand out of the crowd. How do you stand out of the crowd is when you start sharing relevant information. It need not be a very lengthy article. Start small, but start. And the reason I'm saying this is the minute you start contributing information which is rich in your own expertise, in your own domain, that's when, as a viewer, as your prospect customer, I start building trust and credibility in my mind about what is it that you deal in. Yes, you seem to be a subject matter expert. If in the future I'm looking at, let's say, accounting services, I should go to this person, right? So that's the kind of brand recall you will build. So please do use this section. Post that, let me quickly come on to the groups. What is groups? We've seen it on various platforms already, but it is a group is basically like-minded people coming together to join a particular group such that they can discuss various challenges, ideas, their thoughts on a particular subject. So let's say I'm interested in venturing out into the agricultural products, then I would join a group like that. I would tell them that I already have an existing business in the retail segment, but I would want to now explore the agricultural segment. These are the kind of challenges I'm facing, and invite the business community to actually answer my questions. So that's what's happening on the platform. And based on your interest, you can join a relevant group. Now, quickly coming on, there is a section called events, which is basically where you can join any of the business community events that are happening today. But also not just that, like I told you in the article section, it's not about just consuming content. It's not about just attending sessions. Any event, and whether it's a workshop, a trade show, let's say a training program, any conference, meetup, anything that's happening even within your organization, and you'd like to make the community aware about it, you'd like to invite registrations, you can actually go ahead and create an event here, right? Now, I'll actually show you a couple of stores that you can take inspiration from, which is basically, I'm coming on to this section called online store. What does it mean? If you are a B2C, B2B, industrial, consumer, D2C, no matter which type of business you are, it is critical and vital that each of you have your digital catalog, even if you are a service provider, right? Now, having a digital catalog is what basically is called online store. Here is where you can actually go ahead and start the process. We do have training sessions about how do you create your online store, how do you actually, let's say, add payment gateway, let's say, use any of your inventory that needs to be updated, or, and I'm going to first now show you some inspirational stores. These are stores in India which you can draw inspiration from, and I must tell you that these are stores, online catalogs that are created by business owners on their own, like yourself. And you can see the kind of aesthetic appeal that they're trying to bring in here. You can see they're running a discount. They're showcasing their best sellers. They're showcasing different categories, different products with their relevant, and not just relevant, but also a search engine optimized product title, as well as description, pricing. So you can see how rich this is. And if I'm a consumer, I would want to buy it because it looks like a genuine business, firstly. And these are the different categories they deal in. Then there's their social media feed that they're showing on their store. Then they're actually showing what's happening behind the scenes, their empowerment stories. So, and of course, also just some videos that they'd like to showcase. So the reason I'm showing you this is for you to be able to understand that there are enough number of tools and capabilities that exist on the online store section that you can explore and create your own digital catalog. And there are 2-3 ways to go about it. Firstly, you can create it on your own, completely free of cost, using this online store section. And that's called the do-it-yourself model. We have training sessions live as well as recorded material. You will all be invited to a session that's also happening on the 18th of this month, which will actually tell you about how you can create your digital catalog. Apart from that, there's recorded material on our YouTube channel, and my colleague will put in the YouTube channel link in the chat box so that you can refer to it. Another way to go about creating your digital catalog will be, you can come back and tell us, I don't have the time, or I don't have the expertise, or I'm not able to learn how to do it. Can you do it for me? We will be happy to do it for you at a nominal cost. If anybody is interested in exploring that particular product where we help you do it, which means we create it for you and then you learn how to operate it, please do drop me a message or an email after the session, and I'll be happy to arrange a specialist to call you in this regard. This is what I wanted to show you. And just before we go back to why digitizing your business, let me show you another example that you can draw inspiration from. This is a business which is a nursery, and they're showing their different plants, which is actually a live photograph from their nursery. Then I'll just come to, let's say, a particular product to show you. Here you can see in this product, they've actually uploaded a care guide which means if you're a business, you can upload your brochure as well. You can upload a care guide. You can upload anything that you want to additionally tell your prospect customer, and not just allowing the customer to buy your product. But if you would like, if you're a business that's into the B2B domain, then you can also invite inquiries. You will see here, the product can be shared on various platforms. There's a lot of additional information that they've added. There are reviews that can be added by the customer as well. So this is a little about the platform. And before we move on, I'll just show you one last example, which is a business into the B2B segment, which means they're an industrial product. They came and said that I don't want to showcase any price to my end consumer because I deal with only B2B, which means I only have distributors and retailers, as well as the price of the product keeps changing. I allow bids to happen. And therefore, we suggested to them that on a particular product, instead of showcasing the price directly, we could say price upon request and you allowed to send an inquiry. This actually is a step ahead of not just having an informational based website, but allowing your prospect customer to send in an inquiry and interact with you on a particular product, right? So you're capturing their interest right then and there. Okay. Now, now that you've understood a little about the platform, as well as you've seen how do you the end product of the online catalog, let me quickly just go back to why digitizing your business and how you can do it. Okay, so again, the agenda or the reason for having this platform is twofold. One, that you make your business discoverable, and two, that you make it transaction ready. So there are two aspects: community building and commerce, right? Now, I'm going to ask you all a question now. As business owners, all of you understand and respect that resources are limited, right? And we all need to use them wisely. Let me ask you all, I'd like to know, what is your most limited resource? Please use the chat box and tell us what is your most limited resource. Let's see. Is this platform open for everybody? Yes, 100%. It's open for everybody. It's not just for commercial bank account holders. Let me see. I can see. Okay, great. Mr. Patmal says manpower. Okay. Time, sure. Funds, yes. Financing, absolutely. What else? Bandwidth, okay. Capacity, sure. Money, customers. Okay, great. So again, 1 point more, markets, literacy. Okay, wonderful. We all know that our resources are limited. What I'm trying to bring here is that please use them wisely. You have identified which is your most limited resource. Plan before you act, right? Now, in the session ahead, I'm actually going to show you what are the various channels and the ways in which you can tell your customers that you are ready to service them. No matter where they are, when they want you, and how they want to interact with you, you are there to service them, right? But again, before we move forward, let me ask you all a simple question. Draw a tree. And draw a tree in under 10 seconds. It can be on paper or in your mind. Just draw a tree. I'm going to pause here for 10 seconds. Draw a tree in under 10 seconds. Okay. So how many of you actually drew a tree just like the way we were taught as kids? 2 lines for the bark and then a bush on top for the cloud. Did we all draw a tree like that? Replying yes or no in the chat box. Okay, I can see the yeses there. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. I don't see a single no there. But I can guarantee, and in the past also, I've not seen a single no, to be honest. Just possibly a couple of them. I've interacted with over more than 10,000 business owners. What I'm trying to bring to you here is that with this example, that usually when you have limited time, you do a particular task in a routine fashion, in a mundane fashion, and you don't think out of the box, right? But I can guarantee that if we all were in a room, sitting across each other, and if we were in a competition, we were made into smaller groups, and we were asked to draw a tree 100% in under 10 seconds, because we were a group of people trying to do it differently. We would have added fruits, we would have added colors, we would have added, let's say, a surrounding, we would have added a sun, we would have added a lot of other things to make it different, right? So the point I'm trying to bring here is that networking actually brings that spark within you, right? So this is what you need to do on the platform. Think about, and after this session, you can think about the various tasks that you do in a routine fashion every day in your business, and try to brainstorm with a group of people, whether online or offline, with your friends and family or anywhere else. What is it that you can do differently to bring in efficiency, right? And that truly, that networking will help you generate these ideas. Okay. Now, quickly moving on to building your own sales channel. Okay, so why should we build our own sales channel? Times are honestly changing today, and so should we, right? So have you ever, as a consumer, clicked on skip ad or blocked an advertisement? Have you ever done that? Yes or no in the chat box. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So again, I don't see a single no. But on the other hand, have you actually started following celebrities, following influencers who are talking about the various products that they use? Let's see your responses on this one. Not sure yet. Using products that your friends are using? No, no. Okay. Anybody else? Any yeses there? Okay, so a lot of no's. But date, and I see the yes there. So data and trends suggest that people are now following and trusting humans rather than promotional content. So if you don't invest in your own brand building, you're not going to be noticed, right? And I'll explain this point by talking about diversification on marketplaces. I'm sure most of you have your products or services listed on marketplaces like, let's say, Amazon or the likes of it, based on whichever category you are in. But as a consumer, just pause and think, do you see the name of the seller on any of these marketplaces? I don't. So if I'm going to buy a pen on a marketplace like, let's say, Amazon, I don't see the name of the seller, which means that I trust and believe that Amazon will deliver a quality product to me. I possibly look at the different kind of pricing that's happening on the platform. So what I'm trying to tell you is that in order to get customers, yes, be on marketplaces, list yourself. But in order to actually have brand building or brand recall, you need to build your own sales channel, which means that you need to have your own catalog, either offline or online, or a hybrid model, or 100% online. That's a journey that you can actually pursue, right? Now, at GlobalLinker at large, we have over 15,000 plus sellers who are actively using the online store capability. And I've been in conversation with most of them over the past 5 years now. And a lot of them have shared data, learnings, trends, insights about what is going on. And we're trying to collate all of this and share it with you so that we all learn and grow together. But again, before we move forward, let me ask you all a simple question. How many of you here shop online today? Do we buy anything at all online today? It can be in any category. It can be a website. It can be booking a cab. It can be buying groceries. It can be, let's say, buying any apparel, buying products. And I can see the yeses are innumerable there. Now, let me turn the question around. Do you as a business owner sell online today? Are your customers able to buy for your product, your service online today? Let's see the yeses and nos there. I can see a couple of yeses. I'm not sure if you're answering the first question or the second, but let's see your responses. Are you as a business owner selling online today? Samantha says yes for both. Jennifer says yes. Who else? Are you all selling online? No answer is going to be considered as no. Okay, so I can see a couple of no's there. Yes, no, no, not yet, trying to do it, no, no, and a lot of no's. So I'm going to just bring here that think about it. There's no question of trying, there's no. You are buying everything online, if not everything, most things online. You want the experience of sitting at home, getting your product to your doorstep, being able to pay online. Please allow your customer to do so as well, right? So the experience that you want as a business owner, it's important you give that experience to your customers. Okay, so moving quickly on to the stages of digitization. There are 5 stages of digitization, as I say. The first is actually laying the foundation, which means you create an online presence. And then you build it by staying active, by, let's say, contributing articles, by promoting your products or services, either in the form of digital marketing, SEO, SEM, etc., etc. Then you start scaling up by relying on data, on trends. You start looking at how do I increase profits? How do I reduce costs? And at the end of all of this, you try to sustain it, which means you try to get repeat customers, you try to earn goodwill, you try to build loyalty. And this honestly is a vicious cycle. It happens for customer to customer, every single customer. Now, you might argue, and for the ones who are saying, no, that I'm not yet online, you might argue that I've been doing business traditionally for years now. My customers come to my store and purchase my products or my goods. Let's kind of try and see an example why you should move to a hybrid model, if not 100% online model. So just for the purpose of an example, let's say Samantha here has a store in Sri Lanka in district Colombo, and she's selling apparel. She has a physical outlet there. She has 100 customers coming to her store every single day. She's very happy. She's making profits. But how does she now expand? Any thoughts on what Samantha should be doing to expand her business? From 100 customers a day, she wants to reach 500 customers a day. What would you all suggest to her to do for her physical outlet? Open new branches, okay? What else? Distribute brochures, go online. Okay, the most obvious answer of going online, okay, but what else? Give a festive discount, sure. What else? Increase marketing, okay. Run ads, okay. Reach new districts, absolutely. Social media promotions. Samantha herself says creating B2B connections. Okay, so let's, I think Jennifer, if I'm not wrong, but I think one of them said running a festive discount. So let's say Samantha agrees to Jennifer's suggestion on creating a festive discount, and now she runs a 50% sale in her store and she's ecstatic because from 100 customers a day, she goes to 200 customers a day. by running this discount of 50% off. Now just stop there and think, what has she done? She is getting 200 customers a day. She has doubled the number of the visibility and the number of customers coming to her, but her profits have become half. She has cut her profits by half by selling it at a 50% discount. Now, what should she have done differently? There were some suggestions. I think Mr. Sharmal, he said, go online. And what would she have done differently if she went online? She would be able to identify which is her lean time, which means that on Tuesday, let's say she identifies on Tuesday between 5 to 7 p.m., I don't get customers coming to my online store. She runs the discount, the 50% festive discount, only during 5 to 7 on Tuesday, because the online catalog or the store gives her the power to understand what is happening, how her customers are reacting. While she can do it in her traditional business, it's very difficult to analyze, right? Manually, you need to keep track how many people are entering the store, what's happening, when are they coming, when are they purchasing, versus online, you are able to get these insights at the click of a button, right? So she now runs a sale only from 5 to 7 p.m. on Tuesday, and she is able to possibly give samples to these set of customers. Her existing customers continue to transact with her on other days at the same cost, and therefore she's now invited a new set of customers to come to her online catalog, right? Now, let's say her friend here, Mr. Pradeep, comes to her store and he says that I've been doing this for 5 years now. I've entered the digital space for over 5 years now. And while you are getting orders now because of your online catalog just from neighboring districts, I'm now getting orders from across the globe. I'm getting orders from India, from Africa, from Australia, and I'm just expanding. There's no limit to it, right? The importance of this example is just to bring about that in digital, the sky is the space. It's important you start, and you start today, if not yesterday, right? So thank you for being a part of this example. We're quickly going to now move on to a digitization index that we've tried to build to kind of factor in various stages that you as a business owner may be at. And just for the sake of example, let's first take marketing, right? So, and there are many business functions, sales, logistics, accounting, all of that. Every function has a range of digitization steps. But let's say in marketing, you don't have a logo, create an ad hoc logo. Don't look at perfecting it from day one. Then you can move on to, let's say, building a professional logo. Let's say you don't have an online profile. Please go and create it today. Stay active. Tell people out there that your business is legitimate. You are a genuine business. Complete your profile. Stay active. If you don't have a business, start by creating an informational based one. You can then move on and progress to add to cart and buy now. If you don't have any social media presence, please create your, let's say, your Instagram pages, your Facebook, LinkedIn, all of that. Then you progress to putting up once a week post, then once a day, and then you move on to paid promotions and then possibly a social media catalog as well. So what I'm trying to bring to you here is that the goalpost keeps changing in the digital space. It's important you go from one step to the other. Start small, but keep progressing. Now, let's take one last business function, let's say operations. So if you are a manufacturer, are you tracking your data efficiently? Are you actually allowing your B2B transactions to happen online? Let's take an example. I'm a manufacturer of a pen, and you, so let's say Mittal here is a distributor of my products. Am I still sending my salesperson to Mittal to say that, okay, this is my catalog every month on month, please see what you want to order and go and order it. Now, there are enough and more errors that happen manually, and it is an absolute waste of time. Instead of the salesperson actually building relationship and and actually investing that time in telling Mittal about my products. She's actually just going and order booking. All of this happens online today. You can digitize your entire supply chain, right from manufacturer, distributor, retailer, and have complete visibility. You might argue that as a distributor, A might have, let's say, a special discount that I'm offering, and distributor B might have a different minimum order quantity. Distributor C might have a different credit limit. All of that just via an OTP can be customized, right? So it's a matter of you actually going ahead and using such tools and capabilities to bring in efficiency in your business. Now, we at GlobalLinker also have a product called Brand Linker, which will help you digitize your supply chain. And there are a lot of organizations that do this as well. If you are interested in understanding a little more about it, please do drop me an email or a message after this webinar, and I'll be happy to schedule an expert to call you on that, right? So I'm going to leave you on the thought that it's important to stay digitized, and we're intentionally not going to go into the sales function because I do know that you've all got the hang of this, but I am going to stop here and see, and like promised, I'm going to leave ample amount of time for the Q&A session. So please do start sending in your questions. On the screen here, you can see my contact details. I'm based in India, so the number would be +91 followed by the number that you can see on the screen. But my colleague here will also put it in the chat box. You can drop me a WhatsApp message. You can send me an email. And in case your any query, even after the Q&A session is not solved, please write to us and we'll be, again, happy to help you. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. First of all, thank you for being such an engaged audience today. Thank you for being a part of the examples as well. It's now time that any question that you may have, please ask using the Q&A section below. No questions would mean 100% all of you have understood, absorbed, and are going to go back and try exploring the platform Commercial Bank LEAP GlobalLinker. You're going to stay active. It's a promise that you're making that as a business owner, you're going to put your best foot forward even in the online space. So I'm going to think that my work is done, or my work is done only in the promise that you are all going to go back, register yourselves, start using the platform, come back to me with any kind of hiccups that you're facing. We as a business truly with the commercial bank want to help you grow your business leaps and bounds. Mr. Pradeep says, hi, for a service-oriented company, do you have suitable templates to create a website? 100%. There are enough number of templates for any type of business that you are in. And yes, we do have it for a service-oriented company. What you need to do, just to give you a sense of it, is you start productizing your services. So let's take an example. If I am a business that's into the pest control services, and I know that I have a product for rodents, I have a product for lizards, I have a product for XYZ, I put a price to it. I allow customers to book appointments or book, let's say, an appointment time to come and meet, or I go and show a demo. So that, yes, all you need to do is productize your service, and irrespective of the service, it can be done. Whether you are a yoga teacher, whether you are a dance school, anything of that sort as well, it can be done. If you still need help, I request you to please connect with me offline. Tell me a little about what is the service you deal in, and we'll be happy to help you with the kind of templates that exist. Okay, are there any other questions? Thank you for the session. Appreciate the role of commercial bank. 100% Samantha, and thank you for being a part of the examples as well as engaged as you were. We will definitely connect in the future. If there are any questions, please do ask them now. Can an individual person use this even if you're not having a registered business? Chanaka, no, this is not for individuals. It is primarily for businesses. If you plan or intend to venture into a business, it would be a good to have platform. But the proposition is for businesses. Are there any other questions? Again, we have live training sessions that happen regularly. If you'd like to be a part of it, please do drop us an email and we'll enroll you for the next session that happens. And these live training sessions are primarily on how you can create your website, online catalog, digital catalog, online store, whatever you may call it. So Uppal says, thank you to the Commercial Bank for conducting this kind of program. 100%, I thank them as well. They're an equal partner in this program and proposition. It 100% is an honor for both Commercial Bank and GlobalLinker to host all of you today. We intend to add value to this platform. Mr. Pradeep says there are 4 lakh SMEs, as you said. How many are active within the platform? That's slightly a dicey question for me to answer, only because your definition of active versus our definition of active, first of all, can be different. Having said that, you saw on the screen, there's enough and more opportunities that are being generated. There's activity and engagement. I would not say a percentage of them as active or not, only because it's not just about logging in. There are parameters that organizations follow that, okay, this customer is logged in once and he's active. That's not how we within the firm treat it. We believe that active really means they're 100% using all the solutions. So I hope that answers your question. It's more about the kind of engagement that's happening. Reason for the question is to see overseas opportunities for our business. Mr. Pradeep, 100%. So one is, we have a lot of engagement happening from India, from Bangladesh, from Philippines, from Thailand, from Singapore, from the US. So in terms of overseas opportunities, there are enough and more opportunities for you to explore. In fact, that's I think one of the strongest point on the platform today for you as a business owner from Sri Lanka. So I hope your questions have been answered, Mr. Pradeep. Thank you for the session. This is really useful. How do we upload our business profile? So we will take that as feedback, Manjula, that you would want to have possibly a training session on how do you update your business profile, how do you add in all the different parameters, and we'll be actually conducting the next session to teach you that. Thank you for the session. We'll contact after the registration. Surely, I hope to stay in touch as well. Okay, so since there are no open questions yet, thank you all for joining in. Thank you, Commercial Bank, for actually empowering business owners in Sri Lanka. Thank you for all the members who've joined in today, taking out time to understand how digital platforms and means can help you in your business journey. I do wish to stay in touch with all of you. Thank you for joining in. Thanks again.